Steelers fans, you could win a trip to Super Bowl 55 and a new 2021 F-150. The official truck of the Pittsburgh Steelers, sponsored by Neighborhood Ford Store. Rules and regulations are on the entry page, and remember, this contest is a twofer. Scroll down the page after you voted for the super fan of your choice and enter to win that truck. Visit FordHallOfFans.com/football.
All right, welcome back. Bob Pompeani, Chris Mueller with you. We got a lot of people on Twitter want to add some things here. So David, which is Tourman857, says, hey, prospects are fine, but I'm 68. I'll be dead by the time they develop. Wish they could compete short term. And a lot of people probably feel the same way. I want to ask you real quick, Chris, before we go to the lines. We got a lot of people here. Penguins play. Casey DeSmith played well the other day, but I'm of the belief that Tristan Jarry should be back in goal tomorrow night against the Capitals in Game 2 of this home series. What's your take on that?
I would disagree. I think DeSmith has to play until he starts playing poorly. It's a 56-game season. Like, I was laughing. People say, 2 losses to start the year. It's not ideal. Mike Sullivan's seat will get warm. You lose 3 more. Now, I know they didn't, but had you lost 3 more, you basically have just frittered away 10% of your season. They can't afford to worry about Jarry's feelings or the long-term impact. The goal for them has to be to get to the playoffs and try to win a cup. That's what it always is. So they've got to play the guy that gives them the best chance, even if it's their backup and even if it's only in the 4th game of the season. That's what I would do at the very least.
Yeah, and I understand that part of it. I'm just saying that Jarry has more upside, and I saw much more from him than Matt Murray, which is why he got the nod to being the number 1 in the new deal. So I think he's still, and I look at the play in front of him, I think there was a lot of bad play by their defense, specifically Chris Letang. So it's early, but I want to go back to the guy who I think is going to be there for the majority of the time. All right, let's get some calls, and we'll get into some football talk, Chris. We got Ray in Berlin. Hey, Ray, how are you?
Just fine, Bob and Chris. I'd like to know why the Pirates would trade a starting pitcher when that's what they really need. And like the caller on the Twitter said about how many years is it going to take to develop these players. And also wanted to ask Chris why he opted out of his radio today to be on the TV. Pony wasn't too happy with that.
You left Pony high and dry, Chris. I don't understand.
Well, I took a week of vacation, but that's a different W-2 than this one, Pomp. And I've got my commitments here, okay? All right? I mean, opt out. I mean, Pony knew I was taking off. He probably breathed a sigh of relief when that vacation request came down the pike. By the way, I will address the first part of it. They're trading away starting pitching when they quote-unquote need starting pitching because Joe Musgrove was not going to be a starting pitcher on any Pirates contender. I'll sober some people up here. If you are praying, hoping against hope, whatever, that this is going to be a competitor quickly, I would go 2024 or 2025, honestly, before they take the shape of, hopefully, and that's if things break their way, Bob.
Right.
Before they take the shape of a contender.
And that's the problem with the system because now it's been so long and it's going to be a lot longer. And like I said, the Pirates also have to sell this. You know, when fans come back, they're going to have to sell something. What are they going to sell? They better call it what it is. And I think if you do it, at least you're honest with people and they understand what you're trying to do. And you can enjoy that process as it hopefully works in that direction. But they're not going to be competitive. I don't think there's any question. Now, he mentioned starting pitching. You have Jamison Tyone coming back from a second one of these surgeries, the Tommy John procedure. I don't know what he's going to be like. Can you trade him? Should you trade him too? Why not?
I mean, you can, but you're not going to get anything back for him in return. That's because the other teams around baseball, every single GM outside of Ben Cherington knows this sad fact. Guys who have had 2 Tommy John surgeries, the list of players who came back and had, after that second surgery, a both long and successful career is essentially nil. So Jamison Tyone, I know medicine's gotten better and better, but he would be bucking a lot of negative trends if he were to have any kind of positive value down the road.
All right, let's go out to Brad, who joins us in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. What's up, Brad?
Hey, guys. Hey, now this is going to sound like it's coming from way out of left field, but just hear me out to the end. I think this might eliminate some of these teams potentially tanking in the NFL the last week of the season in the future. I would propose that starting next year, 8 teams from each conference get into the playoffs. One plays 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. But there's a bye week after the final week of the regular season before the playoffs. The teams are going to play hard to the end to stay sharp. They're going to get their week off after.
So you're talking about a league-wide bye week. Everybody's off.
After the last week of the regular season, there's a week off before the playoffs.
But why would the teams that want to lose, like Jacksonville had no interest in winning,
right.
Although they had sewn it up by week 17. I don't understand how that would prevent the problem of teams who are trying to fail downward in the standings so they can fail upward in the draft order. That gives them no extra reason to suddenly try hard. So I don't know how that really affects
it. It also
anything.
takes any emphasis of being the number 1 seed away, other than you're going to get an easier opponent, but you're still going to have to play just like everybody else.
Well, I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to think of something.
Well, does it bug you that much? Does it bug you that much the way the season ended? It didn't bother me, really. I mean, the Steelers still played a close game against – there was the Doug Peterson thing, but he got fired, essentially, for that, for calling the code white, the code surrender. Wave the white flag here with Sudfeld or whatever.
Well, like I said, it was just I was trying to come up with something that might make it a little bit more interesting. I didn't say it was going to be the answer to
I'll tell you what. Let me request something, because you sound like a deep thinker. Brad, go back to the drawing board in Punxsutawney, I believe it was, and give me an equitable financial reality for baseball, all right? Come up with a system we can all agree on in baseball. Let's go, Brad. Put the nose to the grindstone.
It's never going to happen because these owners don't want it to happen. And until that happens, it won't happen. Let's go out to Al in Brentwood. Al, welcome to the Sports Call. How are you? Hello, Al. Al, are you there?
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
What's up, Al?
Chris. Hey, Bob, in that Steelers and Cleveland game playoff, I was disappointed because when they had the ball at 48, on 4th and 1, they had the momentum going, and they didn't go for the first down. And the running game stinks. Connor's not the answer, and I think it's time for Tomlin to go. And
all right, well, that's not going to happen. They've determined they're moving on.
I know that's not going to happen, but in the Penguins.
What do you think about the quarterback sticking around here?
Well, I think he's a good backup quarterback.
Ben?
I think Ben was
that's nice.
More than what people think, too.
All right, Al, we got to go to.
What are you talking about?
We got to go to a break here. So I want to first off, that 4th and 1 play. Like, if you think that if you can't make a yard, you don't deserve to win, but you got to try too. Mike Tomlin did not try. And listen, quarterback sneaks. I saw Pony put out a big, look at all the quarterback sneaks that have been done and how successful they've been. Chris, that's the easiest play in the book. If you're a quarterback and you're 6'5", you go forward and you're going to get a yard every time.
Ben was 19 of 20 in Pony's amateur research. I saw him tweet that out today, which leads me to believe if he's been 95% successful by Pony's calculation, the only reason he didn't do it was because he didn't want to do it.
But it's the play that has to be called at that point. Anyway, we got more football talk on the way. Right now, it's time for our Tri-State Office Furniture Tweet of the Day. This comes to us, too, from Jamison Tyone. And he had a really good relationship with Joe Musgrove. He says, damn. Gonna miss it's bucking Joe 59. This dude puts every ounce of himself into his teammates and his craft. The grit, passion that you saw on TV is so real and authentic. He taught me so much. We became more than just teammates or friends. We became brothers. And that says a lot about what they're, obviously giving up to. A guy who's good in the locker room. They're looking long term. And Jamison Tyone has also seen a lot of guys go from Marte to Bell, from you name it, they're leaving, and they're trying to stock up the system. We'll see how it goes in time. We're going to take a break. Back with more right here. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.